All right, it says that I am live. Yes, it looks like I'm live. Hey, everybody, welcome again to Astronomy Daily Live. So I'm out here. There, is that any better? Can I try to focus? I don't know. This thing doesn't want to focus. So I'm out here with the scope under the night sky, and I have bad news. I mean, not bad news, but let me show you what's going on. I'm gonna put this red light down, and I'm gonna turn this on, and you can see that I am at 92% humidity. Oh, whoop, wrong one. Sorry. Go. Sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. 89% humidity. It's 30.4 degrees Fahrenheit out here right now, and it's 89% humid. And what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, I'll show you what that means. I'm going to take you over to the scope. Okay? Here, I'm going to flip this around. Maybe use my finger. Okay, flipped around. There's the scope. All right, there it is. Oh, can't bump into things. All right, I'm gonna bring you right in here. I'm gonna bring you right in here. Look at, look, look. That is totally fogged up. It is, it is 2:23 UTC, and the corrector plate is completely fogged up. I've got 89% humidity. That's when that happens. Is exactly then. You can sort of see all the fog on there. So the this is this um, there's a lot of people who would say, okay, just get yourself a little dew dew thing, right? Which actually warms up this plate and sort of raises the local humidity. If you sort of see, this is kind of hard to hold, but if you can see along the edge here, right, and here where there's no dew, that's because it's a little bit warmer there, right? And so the humidity is slightly different. So we're right on the edge of being no good. And so, a lot of people would say, well, cosmic, just get yourself one of those, heaters, right? And all that will go away. And that is absolutely 100% true. However, okay, I'm not looking through this telescope, right? I'm not trying to take, um, you know, astrophotos. If that was the case, then yeah, absolutely, right? But what I have, right, is I have a CCD camera on here that that is not is definitely not happy with 90% humidity, right? There's electronics in here. There's a sensitive CCD chip, um, and who knows, right? What's actually going on inside here, right? I don't know, right? There's a window, sort of a glass window on the front of the CCD chip that is going to protect the chip itself from moisture and all that. But there's a whole bunch of electronics back here that are just exposed to this. I mean, I'm basically in a pool of water, right now. Now, I'm crying because I am looking up, right? I'm looking up, and the Milky Way is sprawled out right above me, right? Orion is rising. Here, I'll turn this around. Um, so so Orion is rising over here, right? Right over here. Can I do that? Yeah, right over here. Sirius has just come up. Okay. Gemini is over here. Capella and Auriga are way up here. It's a beautiful, clear night, and in fact, wow, the seeing is absolutely fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous. It's very very rare to not see the stars shimmering, and I gotta say that the stars are barely twinkling at all. I don't I don't remember ever seeing this good a seeing before, or at least in a very long time. Even Sirius, which is really low on the horizon, maybe 5 degrees or so above the horizon, is twinkling, but definitely not as much as it normally is. So I've got excellent, excellent seeing conditions, yet I have a telescope that is, you know, basically sitting in a pool of water here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang here for a little bit and see if the humidity changes. I'm going to go back over to my gauge here, and I'll take a look at it again. Okay, so now we're at 90%, officially 90% humidity, relative humidity. Now, I cannot say that this number here is what is incredibly accurate, right? But uh, what I'm seeing everywhere, right, is that there's moisture on everything. So it's right at that point, right? So what's going to happen next, right, is you also notice what the temperature was, right? Freezing point is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Actually, at my altitude here, I'm at about 45 feet, 4,600 feet above sea level. Um, the freezing point is slightly different, right? It's going to be higher or lower. I'm going to have to think about that a little bit. So I noticed that there are a few people viewing, so welcome, howdy, howdy. If you want to say hi in the chat, I think you can. I Yeah, but there's sort of the situation at the moment. Um, I'm I'm uh, I'm fogged in, and definitely not good for the electronics at all. Now, you know, this is changing a little bit, right? You see this band here? I'm gonna try to. It's hard to do this. This band here is actually getting a little wider. That that band is getting a little wider. Yeah, it definitely is. So things are changing as we speak. So that's why I think what I'm gonna do um, is I'm just gonna hang here for a little bit. Um, what what I can do is, and I gotta make sure I know where my other glove is. There it is. because it's cold out here. It's cold, cold, cold. There's no wind, and and so it's not too bad. And with me at least, right? Once I get into the of mental mode, I don't really pay that much attention to the cold. I mean, I am uh, well dressed. I've got the little hat on, right? I've got the little hood on. I've got 4 layers, right? I've got 4 layers here. I've got 3 layers in here. I've got 2 pairs of socks. I've got some heavy shoes on. So actually, I'm feeling, except for, I mean, yeah, it's really not all that bad in terms of comfort. So I'm glad about that. But yeah, I don't know. That corrector plate is cleaning up a little bit. It's definitely cleaning up a little bit. Let's keep maybe things just have to stabilize a little bit. Oh, look at that. Look at 88. Okay. I you know I think anything below about 80, I'm gonna be good. Right. So yeah, that the fog is sort of going away a little bit. So I think what I want to do is I just want to do a little bit of pointing exercises because I don't know if you noticed either over on my Discord server or if you saw my tweet. Looks like I've got some tracking problems tonight. The alignment for some reason just doesn't want to behave. Not exactly sure if that's the you know uh, um, uh, something mechanical or if it's something you know just to do with how the computer the onboard computer uh, did its little solution to figure out where it is and track and all that kind of stuff. So I think what I want to do is actually sort of point it around and um, and see what can be seen. So I think I'm going to set you up, and maybe we just have to be a little patient, see what the conditions do. So I'm going to set you folks up over here, and you can look at the screen just to make sure I'm not. Let me try to expand that. There we go. So this is actually the 3x3 binning display. And I think what I'm going to do first off, now, I'm going to be looking through fog, so it's going to look pretty terrible. But I think what I want to do is let's go over. I'm going to tell it to go to Betelgeuse and see how close it actually gets. So here we go. I'm going to start up my series. Now, I'm not saving anything at this point. There's really no point in doing that. It's a very, very short exposure. Here, I'll move this over so you can sort of see, right? I've got a tenth of a second exposure. I have no filter on this at all, none. It's just completely wide open. And so let's just start. I mean, it's going to be small over here, right? But that that makes the download time about 3.5 seconds or so per frame. So the update rate is uh, is nice, right? I mean, it's about a third of a hertz, which is not bad for a parallel port. So okay, I'm just going to start taking a series here, and like I said, I think I'm going to tell it to go over to Betelgeuse, and let's just see how the pointing is and the tracking is. I'm trying to take full advantage of the situations as they present themselves. So if the only thing I can do tonight is sort of learn a little bit about how this thing is tracking or not tracking, fine. So, all right, here we go to Betelgeuse. Got some star streaks, got a couple stars there, but nothing in the field of view. So I'm gonna, I chose this star so I could I could see it through the finder scope, and oh yeah, wow, that's way off. It's way, way, way off. I might do another star alignment. Um, I'm gonna turn this camera down. So you know what? I might go away for just a moment, but I will be right back. Okay, because I got to shut this app down to change. Do I? Can I? Or can I? Can I change that here? No, that's the ringtone thing. Okay, I'll be right back in like 5 seconds. Okay, I am back. Hey there, Uncle Bill. Um, uh, yeah, it's that's not probably as big of a problem, and maybe I need to think about that a little bit. But yeah, I can see the shenanigans for sure. For sure. Ah, there's Beetlejuice right there. I'm thinking about doing another star alignment because this is just ridiculous. Trying to tell this thing to point to a particular thing. Hey there, Bobby. Nice to see you. Let's see. I'm going to move that star down. Oh, and let's expand this a little bit. Yeah, sorry about that, but I'm looking at chat, and the shenanigans can definitely continue, especially now that I can see the chat. So there's Beetlejuice, and I think what I want to try to do is sync on Beetlejuice because look at how terrible that tracking is. Holy moly! What the heck? So let's try to sync on this thing. Let's see if I can get him to resync. We need to get him sort of right in the middle, as close to the middle as we possibly can. So let's do that. So I hope everybody's doing well out there. It is so incredibly beautifully clear here, and to have the humidity where it is, where I cannot do anything science-wise, is just is absolutely killing me right now. It's like I can't I can't tell you how awesome the sky looks right now. It's absolutely fabulous out here. Oh, now we're going the wrong way. See, this tracking is just all over the place tonight. So it's going to be a battle, but this is part of the learning curve, right? This is all part of the learning curve, and you know, I know about the learning curve, and I know what it takes. So what you got to do is you got to be patient, and you just have to persevere, right? Just have to keep going and see what this thing wants to do. But yeah, the tracking is just all over the place tonight. And it doesn't really seem to be responding to my commands very well, and maybe that's because I'm not pushing the right buttons. But okay, well, so now I've totally lost him because I keep pushing the wrong buttons. But I'll get it back here. That's the nice thing about it being Beetlejuice, right? I can go to the finder scope and find it that way if I really, really, really get lost. But I'm just trying to sync on this again. So let's see. Got to move it to the right a little bit. There we go. Okay, I'm going to sync on that, and let's see how well it's tracking. Ah, it's terrible. Let's see. I'm gonna give it a little bit of help here. Yeah, for some reason this thing is just not tracking very well at all. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do another alignment because this just sucks. Let's see. Okay, well that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. Well, this thing must be listening because now it's almost tracking okay. I'm going to give it a little bit of a jolt to the right and see what that does to the whole thing. Now, this of course is very, very overexposed. You can't really see. Do you see this number right here, 65534? That's about as bright as it can get, right? So, I'm I'm definitely overexposing this. Well, that's not too bad. Let me try to sync on that again. Oh, now it's drifting a little bit. I mean, I know that I have to deal with a little bit of drift because I'm slowly learning how this telescope behaves. And so it is going to drift a little bit because I don't have any kind of um, auto guiding capabilities or anything. So that's fine. No worries. No worries there. But I can't handle a lot, right? I mean, I'm I'm only so good at this, right? So, um, okay. Well, I think what I want to do now is go to another star. Let's go over to Rigel and see how the pointing is. Okay. So let's do that. Let's go over to Rigel and see how close the pointing is. Because, even if it isn't close, if it's consistently in the same place, um, then I might be able to figure out, how to move it. It's easy with these stars that I can see. Okay, there. Okay, so here comes Rigel. Ready? Let's see how close it gets to the center of the field of view. You see, it's sort of Betelgeuse is so bright, it's sort of zapping the camera a little bit there. But oh dang, it's not. Okay, I'm gonna look through the finder scope here. See how close it is. Um, it's pretty close actually. Let me. It's pretty close. But I'm thinking that I want to do another star alignment. Really, this is ridiculous. I mean, I've got to. This thing has to be able to track well, but it also has to be able to point. Because I mean, I'm going for targets that I can't see. Right. So okay, there comes Rigel. You can see a little bit of a thing there, and let's see how. Yeah. See, that's terrible tracking. So I'm gonna make it go up. Let's see if that fixes it. I know, some of this has to do with sort of the gears and things. There's there's a backlash on these gears that I've yet to sort of figure out. But yeah, the tracking is terrible. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do another 2-star alignment. Let's see, where is that? Polar line sync. Huh. Where exactly do I do that? It's tracking really well now, huh? Actually, I really don't want it going there for too long. I mean, it's not going to hurt the camera, but I really don't want it to. I really don't want it to be sitting there. That's not it. Trying to huh. Trying to go back to trying to go back to the beginning, and for some reason it is not letting me do that. Calibrate, go to position. Nope, that's not it. Identify, precise tracking, scope setup. All right, what I'm going to do, since I can't find it on the menu thing, is I'm just going to cycle power on the mount. And yeah, I'm just going to do a completely new realignment here. Whoop, sorry, I bumped that. Maybe I can lock that down. I can lock it down. There we go. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to just cycle power on this dumb thing. And we'll do Rigel. We'll do Rigel and Capella for our 2 alignment stars again. All right, cycling power. Hate to have to do it that way, but it seems to be the only way to get it into a situation where I can do another 2-star alignment. Okay, so here we go. 2-star align, and oh, I've got to set the time again. Great. Let me. I'm gonna check the humidity here really quick. 88%. Still 88% at 27.5 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll check the front of the tube. Yeah, it's not any better. If anything, it's a little bit worse. So, and wow, the keyboard is all wet. Yeah, the screen is all wet. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep plugging on here a little bit. So, okay, I don't have my shortwave out here anymore to listen to the WWV, so I'm gonna have to go by the time on the computer. So that's gonna be 1952.00, and I have to wait for 1952 to appear, so I'm going to be off by a second or two, my reaction time. Waiting for 1952. There it goes. Okay. So, and it's 1419 local. Okay, and we're going to go to Rigel. Go to Rigel first. Okay. Not quite sure why I'm seeing brightness on the screen there, but okay, here we go. We'll go back to Rigel. Wherever Rigel is. Pretty close. There it is. Jerk him over that way. Now I did already focus, but I'm going to check focus again. Oh, come on. I'm telling it to move and it's not moving. Oh, well. There we go. Come on. Sometimes you gotta talk to it. Gotta swear at it a little bit. Make up all kinds of new words. Come on, you gotta move up. So I want that right in the center, and then I'll sync it up. It's drifting that way, but I mean it should be drifting now because it isn't tracking, right? So let's see if it's gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna push that up just a little tiny bit. Hopefully. There we go. Right in the middle. Bam. Okay, so now let's go to Capella. Okay, so I lined up Rigel. I waited for Rigel to go right in the center of the screen, and then I hit a line. So now I'm going to Capella. I mean, this is a good exercise anyway, so... I mean, I did already do it once, but that's okay. So moving to Capella. Should be pretty close. Yeah, there it is. That should be moving straight down. And so I'm just going to wait for it to come into the center there. Because that is definitely... it's a little tiny bit off. Let's see if I can just tap that a little bit. I'm going to have to probably tell it to move back up. I'll move it over a little bit. It's kind of hard to steer this thing exactly where you want it. I'm telling it to move up. I think there's just a lot of backlash, so really have to work on that. That's one of my weaknesses right now is this backlash thing, because I am pushing this button to make the star move up, and it's just tracking down. It just keeps tracking down. So there's just a lot of backlash on this thing. There it comes. But let's see if I can get a little better alignment so it tracks a little better and points a little better. But right now observing is no good. Not gonna happen. Because, you know, I'm not trying to get pictures, I'm trying to get data. And that's different. Two different things. Similar, but definitely not exactly the same. So hope everybody's doing well. As I said, I'm looking at a sky, and the seeing is stupendous. The stars are barely twinkling at all. I mean, as little a twinkle as I think I've seen maybe ever, but definitely in a very long time. The seeing is absolutely great. So this is killing me, right? Because it's like the seeing is incredible and the humidity is also incredible. And I can't do anything about either one. Come on. Wow. I'm telling that star to move up, and it is not moving up. And when I tell it to, when it finally decides to, it goes too far. We'll get there. We'll get there. Patience, patience, patience. I mean, really, really, this is a blast, right? It's so cool to be able to do this. Even, as primitive as, the setup is and all that, I'm getting some good some good data. Some so might condensation have an effect on the tracking? Yeah, I don't think so, Uncle Bill. I don't think so. I don't think that's what's going on here. I'm not exactly sure why it's having such trouble. But this is part of the learning curve, right? I'm trying to figure this system out, and the only way to do that is to be out here doing it. So, yeah, no worries. Just trying to get that thing in the center so I can do my star alignment. And this thing is just being a bear. Come on, babe. That's pretty close. I'm going to let that drift in. I just made it move up a little bit. Let's do it. Bang. Okay. So it says that it is now tracking. Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, there's a little bit of a drift, but I don't mind a little bit of a drift. Oh, ow. Hey there, Tom. Nice to see you in the chat too. Um, no. I'm the clown. Okay, well that's not too bad. Look at that. Okay, so let's go. Let's let's test him, right? Let's go back and go to eh, let's go back to Rigel and see how close we get, because that is tracking pretty nice. It looks like. But now I want to test the pointing and the tracking. Okay, so we're going to go back to Rigel. I'm not seeing it in there. Let's see where it is in the finder scope. It's kind of hard to. We're super close. Super close. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so he's going to drift in. Oh, I gotta get up off the wet ground. I've been kneeling on wet dirt this whole time. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy how how much that's drifting that way, but let's see if I can. Ooh, yeah, I moved it way up. That's a good sign. Okay, I'm gonna tell it to move back down a little bit. It's gonna probably start drifting again. So yeah, I definitely have to get a handle on this backlash stuff. So that's gonna be part of the learning curve here a little bit. But let me get that guy right in the middle, and then okay. So now I'm gonna hopefully bang that a couple times, and it'll stop drifting down. Moved up a little bit, but let's see if it stabilizes. Yes, it does. Okay, very good. Since we're in the area, let's just go over to M42. I know everybody's dying to see M42 in this thing. 042. See what it looks like. I have no idea. Have I ever looked at M42 in this scope? I don't know if I have or not. I don't think I have. So theoretically, it's right out of the field of view above. So I'm going to tell the whole field of view to sort of move down. And I'm seeing a bright star. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so there's M42 for sure. I'm gonna let it sort of drift in here a little bit, and then I'll freeze it. So yeah, too long of an exposure still. Oop. Take another series of 500, just letting it run a little bit. Okay, so I told it to halt, and I think what I'm going to do, yeah, so it's still drifting a little bit. I'm gonna do that, and we'll probably drift a little bit more. I'm gonna let that go down a little bit, and then I will tell it to sort of halt right about there. Okay, not too bad. Now I can put the Batinoff mask on there and see how the focus is. I can use a couple of those stars. So there goes the Batinoff mask. So everything's gonna go crazy looking. See if I can actually see any spikes. Oh, I can't. Yeah, I can't see any. These stars aren't quite bright enough to be able to see any. Okay. Well, actually, definitely not overexposed then. So, yeah, actually, we have a max value of 4,500. So, I could actually go another factor of 10. Maybe I'll do that. I'll go up to a second exposure, bang that up a little bit. Now, as you can see, the tracking is definitely not great. Whoop, I'm going the wrong way. I'm telling it to go the wrong way. Get that back up there. So, yeah, all right. I'm going to change the exposure time because I'm thinking that I probably can focus on those stars. I just need a longer exposure. So I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to change this to 1 second. There we go. Now you'll see that the maximum here is now 38,400, right? And we're actually getting a slightly deeper image. All right, so I'm going to throw the Batinoff back on there and see what that looks like. See if we can get any spikies out of them. I really can't. I'm surprised that that's not bright enough to be able to do that. Oh well. Let's see. I want to move him up. Up, up, up. Let's go up a little bit more. Yeah, I really can't see the batten off spikes really well here. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to a brighter star in order to do that. Which, yeah, let's do that. That'll be a good test. Let's go over to Betelgeuse, and I'm gonna keep my red light on. I keep turning it off. It's a habit. Okay, so let's go back to Betelgeuse, and we'll focus on that. That's really a bummer. I'm gonna look at the humidity again here really quick. Betelgeuse. Oh my gosh. 97% humidity. All right, game over. Yeah, I'm gonna look at the corrector plate. Yeah, it's completely fogged over. Damn it. Oh, that dust and dirt on there. Arrgh. Okay, let's see if Betelgeuse. Yeah, see, it is. It's right above. It's actually moving into the field, so I'm gonna do that. That'll hurry him up a little bit. You can see those spikes off the Batanoff mask. So I'm gonna slowly move him down. We'll see. Looks like the focus is pretty good. Have you seen that okay? I hope so. Oh, you're not. Sorry. Why isn't this focusing? There we go. Trying to help it move down and focus at the same time. Yeah, it's really getting foggy. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. I cannot tell you what an awesome, incredibly looking sky I've got out here. I mean, the seeing is absolutely stupendous. It's a pretty good focus. It's a little bit off. It's a little bit off. Oh, let me move him up a little bit. Come on, baby. Caught it in mid track there. Whoops. Let's see if it comes back. No, it's not going to. Turkey. Okay, I'm just gonna let him sort of drift in, right? This stupid thing should be tracking, but it's not. So I'm gonna let this drift. When it gets sort of to the bottom, I'll tell it to move up, and then it'll move up to about the middle. It's slowly tracking in though. Look at that. It really is. How's the focus look? So yeah, the focus is a little bit off. Let me see if I can play with that a little bit. That might be a little better, but of course it's drifting out. So I'll give it a little jerk there. Come on, a little bit more. Tiny bit more, maybe. Have to let these things iterate a little bit sometimes. So yeah, that focus is a little tiny bit off. So I'm going to play with the focus a little bit here. That's one of the things that actually has to be done pretty constantly. You got to check focus pretty constantly. That's a little bit better. You can see that it's kind of hard to point with these gloves, but the center one should intersect these other two right down the middle. That means you've got focus. So that's not too bad right there. Okay, cool. Cool. Oh, man. What an incredible sky. I mean, the Milky Way is so incredibly bright, and the stars are, I can't believe how little they are twinkling. It's really incredible. It's really, really incredible. I'm trying to think, you know, I'm not going to be able to see anything through this fog, though. So, shoot. I don't know. Let's, one of my favorite objects of all time is M37, and it's over in the constellation of Auriga, which is right where Capella is. So let's go over there. 037. It's a open cluster. And it's one of my favorites. We'll definitely be able to see something right off the bat. Oh, that was a 1-second exposure too. I forgot to change my exposure times. Oops. So let's see here. We'll let that drift in a little bit. Drifting, drifting, drifting. So yeah, we're definitely pointed at the cluster. But let's see if I can get a little bit more of a concentration of stars. Because there's quite a few in this cluster, as you can see. Yeah, here comes a nice concentration here. There we go. Drifting in. Yeah, there it comes. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, there's, it's sad because there's absolutely no point in collecting any data here at all because my photometry is going to be crap. It's too bad. I'm gonna save some of these images anyway, just because, um, just because they're so great. But I don't think this thing is going to last much longer out here. It's going to start that dew is probably going to start freezing over really soon. Sorry, that was my flashlight there. Looking at the chat. Hey, ERRT. Just lamenting the fact that I have probably some of the best seeing that I've ever had here. Seeing. I mean, it's totally clear too. But the stars are barely twinkling at all. But I'll show you. I've got 97% humidity. So everything is fogged over and frosting. So I'm out here not able to collect any data at all, but I really would like to get a record, I think, of this seeing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to back this out a little bit. Like that, because I'm going to go to one by one binning. Just, it's, I mean, photometrically, it's useless, but I want to save a little bit of this. So I'm going to start at 0. The keyboard is totally wet. M37. I mean, it's going to start freezing. In fact, it already has. I can see crystals on the keyboard. So yeah, this is just no good. No good at all. But I'm going to save a little bit of this. 1 second exposures, that's fine. Okay, here we go. I'm saving. Yeah. Let's see what these look like. So this is a parallel port, so it takes about 14 seconds to download a full frame image. And it looks like it's drifted out. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot this thing down a little bit and hope for the best. See if I can get 37 back in there. Tracking isn't very good. You can see little star streaks. Even with a 1 second exposure. Wow. Humidity has 1. Humidity has 1. This is the desert, folks. Okay? In the desert, we are not supposed to have 97% humidity. But here we go. That's, that's relatively common for this time of year. Doesn't mean I like it. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to pack this in soon because I mean even the stars are starting to go away. So yeah, even the stars are going away. So that's no good. That's no good. Because my corrector plate is like completely fogged and probably starting to frost at this point. Does not make me happy at all. Okay, so I'm gonna go like that, and hopefully this is M37, at least a portion of it, but the tracking is just absolutely terrible tonight. It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. Yeah, you know what, ERRT? I don't know if I guess Nightbot is probably operating. Um, yeah, I guess it probably is. Anyway, so there's and you know, we're not really seeing a lot here because I've got frost all over the front of the thing. I'm going to why don't I bring you over there and you can see for yourself what I'm dealing with here. I'll show you. I'll show you what I've got. I'll show you what I've got. Oh, let me try to zoom this out. I don't know which way is out. This way. So that's zoomed all the way out. So here, let me show you what I'm dealing with. Look at that. Look at that shit. Yeah, that's frost now. Yeah, it's all sparkly. It's all sparkly frost. Yeah, ERT, you gotta try a little harder. Okay? You gotta try a little harder because we don't want any slackers on this live stream. So, either get with the program or get out of the way. All right. Well, this sucks. Um, Tom. Yeah, uh, this is just sad. Sad because um, the sky is just you know usually usually the stars are twinkling a little bit, right? And I'm looking up and I'm looking at Capella. I mean, I'm even looking at Sirius, right? I'm even looking at Sirius. I wonder if this webcam, if this smartphone can see Sirius. I wonder if I can zoom in on Sirius. Oh, there it is. I can see it. Now it's out of focus, but there is Sirius right there. Uh, so you can see the twinkle there, right? But that's maybe 10 degrees above above the horizon. So that's pretty remarkable. When I open up Stellarium, do I have to adjust the program view for your location? Yeah, I think you definitely do. You have to go into the settings um, over on the left hand side. It'll if you move the cursor over to the left hand side, they'll sort of appear um, there. So yeah, for sure. I'm gonna move up and see if we can see anything else. Oh, you know what? Let me zoom out. I'm gonna try to zoom out here. Come on. Let's see if I can move up and see. This is kind of a crazy thing to do, but I want to see if we can see Orion or Betelgeuse because they're Sirius way down at the bottom. Orion should be the constellation of Orion should be here, but dang, if I'm not seeing it. There's Sirius. That's like seriously zoomed. See if I can bring it up a little. I'm just going to move it straight up because straight up right now is the 3 stars in Orion's belt. Let's see if we can pick those up. I don't think we can, but no, I think I've moved past them. Shoot. Definitely see Sirius though. Let me put Sirius over here. See if we can pick up Betelgeuse. I'm just having fun now. I'm lamenting at the fact that I can't grab data in this beautiful, beautiful, awesome sky. Oh, it's so sad. They're serious though, way out of focus. Um, oh yeah, that's a little bit of a process. ERRT. Um, pu- 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 um, let me yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to necessarily help with that right now, at least. And actually, running Stellarium on my normal computer um, is a bit of a problem too, because you know, like Uncle Bill would say, I've got a potato for a computer, which means that it goes to its knees really easily. Um, if anything is running on it at all, and Stellarium takes up a lot of resources, but I can certainly try. But maybe that's something to do during a live stream instead. So yeah, this is pretty sad. It's pretty sad. M37. You know, the stars are out of focus. The tracking um, is terrible. Um, these are 1 second exposures, and we should have a, a field of view full of stars, and we're not seeing anything because we're looking through about 5 inches of frost. So frustrating, very frustrating. You can see, maybe you can't. So I'm still at 97% humidity, 26.8 degrees Fahrenheit. You can't really see it really well on this, but this screen here is like completely frosted. You can see how 97 is all sort of smeared up and blurry. It's not because of the bad focus, it's because there's frost on top of it. So, yeah, wow. I'm collecting all this data, but it. I mean, it's not really even data. These are just pictures, not even worthy of hanging on the wall. So, well, folks, I think I am going to end this live stream and pack up, because what I was hoping was that the conditions would sort of change, but well, change for the better. The conditions have changed; they've just changed for the worse, except for the seeing, which is absolutely stupendous. Like I said, I've got the Milky Way going almost directly overhead, and it's bright and milky. Um, Stars are barely twinkling at all, which I, one very rarely actually sees. I'm gonna after this live stream, I'm actually gonna take some pictures, some long exposure shots with the smartphone here, some 10-second exposure shots, um, just because it's stupendous. It's stupendous out here. Um, and if it was 70% um, humidity, I I'd be running, but I can't see anything through the scope, and that makes the photometry absolutely garbage, and pretty much everything else too. So, wow, not too happy about that. Um, why don't I, just for fun, I'm gonna, just because there's uh, no value in what I'm doing at the moment, let's go back to 042 and just take a couple of shots of that field of view. Pretty worthless, um, actually very worthless, but I'm going to do it anyway because I do a lot of worthless things. Alright, so it's downloading the latest one. There's not going to be anything there, but this next one might have something in there. Maybe. I don't know what it's going to look like at all. The the pointing is pretty bad. Tracking is pretty bad. There's Orion just above there, so I'm gonna, it'll probably drift in. You might be able to see some of the star streaks. These are 1 second exposures. Yeah, so there's part of Orion there. I don't know if it's overexposed or not. Let's look at the max value here. Oh no, it's really, really low, in fact. So that's pretty sad. Pretty sad, gotta say. Tracking is pretty terrible. You can see 1 second exposure is making that star streak pretty nasty. This should have moved it up a little bit. Maybe stop the tracking. But, you know, for what it's worth, I'm 42. But it's pretty junky. Let's move this out of the way. Still going to be going. Okay, so I caught it right in the middle of an exposure. Those are actually really, really cool looking. I've got a friend who calls those foot binaries because, you know, they usually happen when you bump the telescope and you get foot binaries. So, you know, the trapezium here. The this program doesn't auto stretch, so that's why, you know, even though the data values are really, really low, um, uh, it looks overexposed. Now, what I can do actually, we'll download this next one, and then I'll change the exposure time a little bit. See, because we're at 6181, so let's double the exposure time, and then take another series, and that'll tighten up the image a little bit. But yeah, I mean, these are worthless. Absolutely worthless. But, you know, I'll take a look at them anyway. Just for fun. This is all for fun. No work involved here. Actually, the tracking looks pretty good there. I'm going to try to bop this up just a little bit more, and maybe move it to the left a little bit. So this is looking through a frosty corrector plate. So now I'm going to move it over a little bit. The you know, because the download time is so long, the feedback I get is really, really long, right? It takes 2 exposures to know how well I've moved. So this next one hopefully will have moved left a little bit. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I mean, you know, this, as I said, you know, this software, I've got it set to auto stretch, but we're getting a max value of 14,000 here. So that's actually not too bad. But yeah, I mean, this poor thing is looking through, you know, basically an inch of ice at this point. So stars are big, almost out of focus blobs, and but you know, the trapezium is actually in there. I'll I'll post a couple of these up onto the Discord just for fun. But yeah, I mean, scientifically worthless, and I mean, in terms of even, you know, astrophotography, these are worthless because, yeah, I mean, I'm looking through a completely frosty uh, um, uh, scope here. But once the tracking settles down, it seems to be all right. You know, obviously it's drifting up a little bit now. So, but that's not too bad. I mean, that's tolerable, right? I mean, I can handle that. That's why I'm here to be able to manually do that. And no, I don't have a auto guider. Um, that would basically require me to get a completely new system, and that's just not going to be happening anytime soon. I don't think. You never know. So this should have moved it down a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me. I'm gonna make sure that these images were actually being saved. I got some beautiful calibration data, and really, really, really good cals. Some nice flats, some nice darks. Um, but yeah, we're still at 97% humidity, 26.6 degrees. So it's not really even all that cold out here. Not really. But the humidity is killing me. Now, last night, of course, um, I said, "Oh no, the humidity is going to be way up, and we're going to have fog in the morning, and there's absolutely no point in going out observing." And last night, I think our maximum humidity was about 50%. And so tonight, all day today, my thought was, it's like, wow, it's clear, and uh, feels dry. In fact, things were feeling a little bit staticky um, earlier today. And so I thought, well, hey, tonight's going to be a great night. It's going to be dry. It's going to be clear. Supposed to have clouds and rain the next few days. The moon isn't out, right? It's new moon. I think either tomorrow or Sunday. So it's like this is really really cool. This is going to be a great night, right? And here we are doing nothing. Look how terrible that tracking is, though. All right, when it gets to the bottom, I'm gonna. Now I could definitely double this exposure time again, um, and still be well within the dynamic range of the camera. Maybe I'll do that just for interest's sake. We'll grab this last one, and then I'll go from 2 seconds to 4 seconds. Now with 4 seconds, yeah, the problem with that is that I'm definitely going to be starting to drift. So yeah, maybe that's not a good idea. See, I'll grab this last one. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it. This is yeah, no more point. And the electronics is just getting more and more beat up too. So all right, after this last download here, I'm going to abort this, and then I'm going to kill the live stream. Dun, 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 dun. All right, well, thanks everybody for coming in and you know watching the shenanigans here, the trials and tribulations of a independent research astronomer trying to do his thing, and that's just how it goes, right? I mean, I yeah, it is what it is, and I whatever, whatever. All right, very very cool. Yeah, Uncle Bill can definitely help you with stellarium for sure. But yeah, I'll try to ERRT, see what we can do here. So, all right, well, take care, everybody. As I said, it's probably going to be cloudy the next few days, so I will be back in the office with the usual live stream. This has been going on for an hour and 21 minutes already, so that's actually sort of a normal length live stream. So, all right, well, very, very cool. Thanks everybody for coming in, putting up with this. Um, yeah, I I really, really wish that you could see the sky. It's just, I mean, I've been out under the sky a lot, right? So when I say that it's pretty amazing, it really, really, really is. Um, so yeah, I just wish that, man, if the humidity was just 20% less and no foggy anything, um, man, I would be going insane. I would be totally going insane because this is some of the best thing that I've ever seen ever. So, all right, well, here I will prove to you that I'm actually here. So, all right, take care, everybody. I will see you in just a little less of one spin of this tiny little planet that we seem to be on here. Seems like we are. All right, take care, everybody. I'm going to point this up a little bit more. Peace, cheers, and all that, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.